See ya.
It's taken. There we go. Hello, turtles. That is how I lost my fingers.
Oh, turtle attack.
Yeah, I got one more. Haha. Welcome back to Adventures with Nubs. Y'all can tell it's Cryptic Monday. I know it says Saturday, but that's because I had went back and changed my old stream. So it is Cryptic Monday. It's not Saturday, guys. I wish it was the weekend again. But tonight we're gonna be talking about mermaids, and of course I got my co-host Second Star Survival. And then I got the wonderful and amazing Paranormal XP, Tara, and Paige. So it's going to be an awesome night. And I'm waiting on old Vodka Vamp and Mr. Tommy, my father, Tombstone, to hop on up here.
And our brother Josh Hodge.
If Josh Hodge is still awake, because I know he's been editing all day, and he's probably still either editing or sleeping right now.
That boy doesn't sleep. He's a vampire.
But like I said, tonight we're going to be talking about mermaids. And I don't know much myself. I mean, other than like the Little Mermaid and mermaids like D&D and all that. Like, them mermaids in D&D, they're more like siren type and more than mermaids anyways. Like, oh, there's a vodka.
There we go.
Hello.
Hey.
What's up, vodka sis?
Hey, Mitty Bray, how are you? Hi, ladies.
Hello.
Yeah,
I'll give these three beautiful ladies a hello in chat.
And then we got me and Matt.
Yeah, don't worry about us.
Hey, Sue. How you doing, sis? Good seeing you, Bud Files.
Hi, Bud Files. Hi, everyone.
Hello.
But yeah, before we get started, Paranormal XP has an epic premiere tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Eastern with Josh and Kyla. Y'all don't want to miss.
We do.
Nice.
I know.
Very
I'm
good.
excited.
Awesome. Paige did an amazing job, as always.
Chase Manor, won't it?
No, this is Wildwood.
Oh,
yeah, Wildwood
Sanitarium.
Ooh.
It's pretty weird, the answers that we got there.
Yeah, very weird.
Nice.
I can't wait.
It's like a chill haunting, so it's not like some scary, evil thing. It's more sad than anything.
Y'all ain't telling nobody they can harm people and all that. Like my first video I dropped today, like that shows what you not to do on investigation.
Only Nubby gets harmed in any of these film productions.
Like, I forgot straight up about how that investigation went and how disrespectful they were. Not me, but the people I was with were with the spirits, and how they told the spirits they can harm me and all that. I was like, ooh, I forgot that they did that.
Oh my god.
So that's a video of what not to do during the investigation, and be careful who you investigate with.
Yep.
Hey, Ginger, how you doing? Been a while. Hope you're doing good.
Hi, Ginger.
Hello.
I'm behind, so I'm just going in and sharing Paranormal XP. So, I am so behind, everyone. I am so sorry. Normally I am sort of sharing everyone every day, and life has been so full on. I'm so behind sharing everyone.
I feel that.
It's
I've
all
always-
good.
All good, yeah.
I've been only free on like Sunday nights, Mondays, and Tuesdays before like 7 p.m. And after that, like the rest of the week, I'm babysitting, and I'm Saturdays I'm working at the stockyard. And where I babysit, the signal is so bad. Only way to get service and to check internet or anything is you have to step on the front porch and like hold your phone up and pray to all the gods to get it to work. Like the
I
only
feel
way
you
to
there with
do
Autumn coming on here. My little early gig, then the last week and a half, I've started getting and I'm like, no. In this day and age, it shouldn't be this bad, man. Just because autumn's coming and there's a bit of crap weather coming, it should not be that bad. So yeah, that doesn't help.
In this
When you're
day of
behind,
technology, internet should not drop.
Oh yeah. Trying to watch everyone catch up, and it's all just, and it's all just, and I'm just like, seriously, just work.
Yeah, I understand that all too well. Y'all know how my internet is up here. Like that's why I haven't done any React streams lately, because my internet's been so crappy. Every time I go to
You got
React,
the Dollar Tree connection.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
like you get internet, and we ordered it from like Wish.com and all that. Hey, what
He's
is
got
up,
his
my wife?
Temu Express.
But the first thing, has anybody seen any mermaids? I know I haven't, like myself.
Oh,
It would
I've
be
never seen a
cool.
mermaid. Yeah, I've definitely never
Yeah, I'm
seen
with
one.
you. I wish.
I mean, I
Definitely.
scuba dive and I haven't seen one, so
Yeah, scuba diving will be awesome.
Yeah, Paige is a dive master over here.
nice.
No,
yeah.
She only got me in the water once and probably never again.
you ever do any deep sea treasure hunting and all that?
No,
That would
no,
be cool.
recreational diving. So between like 130 feet to 160 feet.
That ain't bad at all.
But yeah, I've done like over 500 dives and no mermaids. So I
No
think
mermaids.
that if they do exist, they're living in the abyss where no one
Yeah,
can
I
find
agree.
them.
I agree.
That's a good assumption.
And they probably look nothing like how you'd think.
No, probably like gray or blue, no body hair,
Most likely blind if they're
most
living
likely
that deep
blind.
down.
What is a mermaid? Is like the Loch Ness monster or all them sea creatures?
What?
I don't know. It could be the mermaid. A mermaid could actually be the Loch Ness monster. You never know. Hey, Mama Cassie.
Loch Ness monster's just a mermaid swimming on its back. Don't
The mermaid
I
force.
mean, I don't know. Like, I was watching Aquaman the other day, and those are some crazy mermaids right there.
Oh, now if only they look like him. I mean, really, I can't swim to save my life, but I think I'd go back and learn if there were mermen and they look like him.
See, I can swim. I've been a lifeguard for over 10 years, but when it comes to the ocean, you're on your own. Like, if I'm not, yeah, I ain't fighting
Paige
another
lives
shark
for the
using more
ocean.
fingers. Oh, yeah.
I think if anyone was a mermaid in a past life, it would be Paige.
I feel more comfortable in water than on land, honestly.
Which is weird because I hate the water.
I hate the
It's
water.
scary.
See, I love the water.
So
So,
scary.
Well,
Yeah,
I drowned when I was young, so
Well, I
have
nearly
fear of
drowned
water.
too, and that's why I don't swim. But I love the water as
Yeah.
such. I mean, I love the beach. I love the water. I would love to go back and learn how to swim, but I sort of have gone and tried, and as soon as my head goes under that water, that's it, panic station. So it's not going to happen. But I do remember when I was first learning, absolutely loving it, and I felt like it was home, you know. But yeah, ear infections later, and then nearly drowning, you know, and other teachers and friends jumping in to save you sort of put you off going back. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a cancer, and I'm supposed to love water, but yeah, I will enjoy watching a creek or a river flowing by, or, swimming on top, like using a raft or something to get across the water. But if I get in the water and I can't touch the ground anymore, I like going back.
I feel the same way.
Yeah.
same.
See, if I'm at like a lake or a river, I don't like touching the bottom of the water.
It feels gross.
But if I'm in the ocean, if I'm not touching the bottom, I'm freaking out. Like that, I'm weird about the ocean. Like
I don't do creeks, rivers, dams, nothing. If I do anything, it's a pool with a shallow end.
See, I don't mind.
Go in the ocean to a waist, and that's about it, man. That's it. I'm done.
Yeah, I don't mind creeks. The only thing about creeks is 3 times I've been in the creeks, I've done got leeches, and leeches fuck.
Oh, tell me about it.
I've put
Paige
Tara in
actually,
before.
yeah, we did a photo shoot in a creek.
Leeches are wonderful.
Paige was covered in leeches underneath her shoes.
Oh,
Yeah, they got into my water shoes. It's disgusting.
Yeah, I don't do creeks after that.
I didn't even know until I
With
got home.
swelling, they help you. If you put a leech on a cut, and if you put it beside the cut, it will help the healing process of your cut.
well, I'm good on healing. Okay, I'll heal whenever I heal. I don't need a leech to help me.
Yeah, I mean, I know there's medicinal purposes for them typically, but yeah, no, I'd go without, thanks.
Well, that's back in the day when people had where they had wounds on their hands or whatever, they would put it in a bucket of maggots, and the maggots would eat their finger, eat it and clean it and all that. And I'm like, yeah, I ain't do. I would just
I will do it to you because
take the saw and chop my hand off.
No,
I'll give up my hand. It's fine.
Don't put me in no thing of maggots, please.
Maggots will clean your wounds. The maggots eats away the dead flesh, the rotting flesh, and everything, and keeps it fresh. And then,
See that? This is how we know you're a survivalist. You'll probably find the good in ticks too, don't you?
No, there's no good in ticks. There's no good in mosquitoes.
Yes. There's a couple of things Maddie says there's no good for.
Woo-hoo. Yeah. You could actually pull the ticks off of deer and eat them and use the blood that they've sucked out of the deer to, as
just gotta go ruin it, Maddie.
Oh, God.
Ew.
All right, so speaking of mermaids, do you think that mermaids are good or evil, or do you think they're like us, where there can be some good and some evil? I personally think they can be like us, they are. There can be some good mermaids and some pure evil ones, and
they're all called man eaters for a reason, and not just man in particular. They feast off of human flesh to help birth. Well, depends on whatever religion or culture that you look at.
I was gonna say, because there's been one now. It surprised me. I think it was Syrian.
Yeah.
Where years and years back, of course, but one was supposedly injured and they nursed her back to health in one of their rivers, lakes or something, and she actually joined them, ended up living there, basically just joined the community, and lived out her life on land. So, yeah, I don't know whether they're all mean and nasty or not.
Well, it depends. They're taught not to interact with humans, because if they interact with humans, they do become human-like, where they end up losing the tail, growing feet from their tails. They cast away the spirit part of the ocean. There's also Japanese tales of, if you capture a mermaid in a net, they will kind of like the hotel, the fish and like the hotel, the fish and fisherman and the talking fish. That a fisherman caught a fish and he granted him a wish.
Mm.
Same thing with a mermaid. Mermaid.
Oh, I knew that was gonna happen sooner or later.
Yeah. See, the thing is, it's in so many different countries' folklore and mythology that
one wish.
It makes me wonder.
Yeah.
Well, I got lost.
Tommy, no, because I'm gonna stay a virgin until I die. Mermaids, do they have a penis? I'm sure some of them do. I mean, and do they have sex? I mean, how do you think they reproduce? Like,
they probably have two claspers like sharks do.
Yeah, we did actually talk about this the other day. It's probably very similar to how a shark would have sex.
Yeah.
If you look at the Mesopotamian legends of mermaids, the queen of the mermaids is actually a hermaphrodite. It's kind of like a hyena. It can change from male to female at a moment's notice to make new mermaid.
I can do that.
Supposed to be all female, but
that's how turtles are made.
Yeah. Like, who knows, really? Tommy, don't lie. You would swim in the ocean for a mermaid.
Tommy, you got all that talk. Get up here and answer some questions.
Got all them words in your mouth. Get up here and spit them out.
What's up, GT? Only mermaid movies I know is, of course, The Little Mermaid, and there was one on the Disney Channel years ago. I cannot remember what it was called, but it was a pretty good one. But other than that, I don't know.
I mean,
it would be cool to actually see a mermaid.
Yeah. If mermaids wasn't real, I mean, why would Madrid have a almost $2 million U.S. currency reward for finding Madrid mermaid? So, like,
I actually got a mermaid in the bathtub and all that. But
oh, do you?
Yeah, I changed the bath water once a month. Like
once a month?
I'm putting time.
What was that movie with Cher where she was a mermaid? And she was living in a bathtub? Splash?
Yeah, I think that's what
Carol Hannah and Tom Hanks. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was actually a decent movie.
Yeah.
What's up, Freaky?
Splash.
think that
But can mermaids live in just the sea, or do they live in freshwater too?
there's like 4 different types. I mean, there's river mermaids, there's ocean mermaids, there's lake mermaids. They can go anywhere that they want to.
See, we just got a Gyarados in our lake. Like, I tried throwing Pokeballs at it, tried to catch it, and it won't work. I do. Huh?
I said, you just want a giant snake and a ball?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind going like that live stream where that Josh did paranormal in the water.
Oh yeah,
like
that
the
was
haunted
cool.
shipwrecks and stuff.
Yeah, I think that would be a good like thing to do to find like mermaids and like their sea creatures and all that too.
Run, Fox, run!
Paige found human remains on a dive.
I did. Inside of a
Hello,
ship.
school, thank you.
Oh, I bet you that was fun.
We were told to leave them.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you at least take the skull back or something? Like, could have did a little ritual or something like that. Would have been cool.
No.
Low key teeth a bone. It's fine. That's terrible.
But see, Freaky, if they're part of fish, would they eat fish? Wouldn't they eat seaweed and algae and other types of
I mean,
both.
sea things?
Oh, hey, that's being stereotypical. They're freaky. I mean, sharks eat fish and they live in the oceans.
True. Yeah, true.
Fish
Well,
eat
they
other
have to keep
fish.
everything in there. It's
I
bigger
eat.
than fish.
Maybe.
Yeah, see, I eat fish sticks. So I mean, I'm not a gay fish though.
They ain't a damn algae sucker.
Well, you never know.
I believe that they are too. They just like really hard and they're like Sasquatch and all that. Like really hard to find. Like they don't want to be found.
Well, if you think about it, we've only explored like less than 5% of our oceans.
That's true.
So
Exactly.
We've only mapped less than 10% and then explored less than 5%.
yeah.
We don't have
And
the
the other thing
technology to.
We've explored
Find
more of
them.
space than the ocean.
Exactly.
Yeah, which is insane.
And they're discovering new species every day.
And
Things
think
are
about
washing
it.
up.
All the stories, you know, they don't bode well for them or for us. You know, like we're always trying to kill everything so we can dissect it and study it. And why would anything mythological at all, in any sense of the word, want to actually meet a human being? If they've been sitting back and watching, what do? What do humans do the most?
We kill.
Destroy.
We are terrible.
They can see what we're doing to their oceans. They don't want anything to do with it.
Like, so they know that there's not everyone does probably. They can probably see the few that, you know, they look after the oceans and look after this and that. But the majority, we're horrible. Why would any of them want to come meet us? You know, like that's with anything mythological and I mean, even our own animal kingdoms around us now, how many species are no longer living because of humans?
Hey, Solo, a lot.
Countless.
Way too many.
Yeah,
You know?
especially in the oceans. How many have we killed and we don't even know?
I can say land, sea, everywhere. We have killed so many that, you know, really, even if you go to expand it out to aliens, etc., why the heck would they want to come to Earth when all they can see is all this death and destruction everywhere?
Yeah.
It's Saturday somewhere.
We are the Vikings of the universe.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
We really are. I mean, And there's no offense to, the Vikings, I mean, but I'm just saying, if we met any other kind of race, if say the mermaids do live in gigantic communities like schools of fish and everything, if they live in giant underwater communities like how we do on Earth, how many of those communities or how many of those tribes or whatever they call themselves, how many of them have died over the past years just from all the crap that we've done, all the oil spills that we put into the oceans?
The testing of weapons in the ocean, yeah, it's endless, isn't it? Really.
I mean, and to tell you the truth, in all reality, if there was any mermaids still left or anything, they're not going to be. They're going to be like either worse than what they are in mythology, especially now, especially if there's only a few hundred or a few dozen left. They're going to be more violent towards us than peaceful.
Well, definitely a lot more distrustful than they ever were. I mean, if they've been watching anything going on, for decades,
all the time, like.
Yeah.
Because if you look at the Greek, if you look at the Greek mythologies, the mermaids are a part of the Siren family, which means they belong to the Harpies, the Gorgons, stuff like that. If you look at the Celtics, they're part of the Fae. And either way, they're not good groups. They hate us. Either way, they hate us. And
can't blame them, really.
Yeah, I mean, mermaids are meant to entice humans to be killed and eaten.
That's for you, Tommy.
But
you're my dad, so I get it from you.
I mean, we've even put bounties. Like you can go to the 8th century Japan and find ancient legends about fishermen capturing mermaids, or the sea folk that they call them, which in Japan mythology, the sea folk were human-like people that looked like avatars, blue skin, like what, Tara? Tara?
Yeah.
Like what you said. Blue skin with scales and fish frills and gills, and they look like humans. They can walk up onto the the sands and stuff like that, but when they got into the water, they swam like that they had a fish tail. But the thing is it was a big. What the story is, if you captured one of them, you could pull a scale off of a mermaid and you could eat it. And if you eat the mermaid scale, either you would be granted immortality or you would be turned into the worst monster of the worst, sin of your life. Like whatever, your most heinous act was in human life, you would turn into that kind of monster. Or,
interesting.
Yeah. Or if you were a good-hearted person and never done anything bad, you would be granted immortality for the rest of your life.
But I like how the difference with the Japanese one, from what I was reading, was they're more creature-like than half human, half fish.
Right.
About a simian face and a black shell, like a tortoise shell, on their back or something like. Yeah,
those are the
and the kappa or something.
Yeah,
they're called.
the kappa.
Yeah, and
they're
they
river
live
folk.
in the rivers and ocean, lakes, and
Yeah.
So I don't know whether that goes back to a scare your kids mythology, because apparently
Well,
their favorite eating was children.
well,
So-
they eat bad children, but they will also trick humans.
Hang
Right.
on. I got some bad kids I can get rid of. Like, who eats?
Well, the thing is they have to, like, Japan has very weird. Japan has very weird rules with their onis and their creatures and stuff, like their
true.
cappies. Like, to disrespect a cappy, you have to swim naked into their sacred shrine water, or you have to bathe in their water, or if you're lucky enough to sneak up behind them and drink the water of everlasting life out of the top of their skull. Like, yeah.
Yeah,
But they're completely different. Like, they're turtle owners.
Yeah.
They're not like actual mermaids, because they live in rivers.
It's definitely interesting though, when you do start trying to research into the different mythologies of mermaids or merfolk. It does get really interesting because, to me, anything to do with mythology, mermaids, fae, Bigfoot, cryptids, whatever, the stories come from somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they may change a lot over the years, like a lot of people, like we say with the Bible, not meaning to offend anyone, but with new writings, so when it's a bit like Chinese whispers, sometimes I think, there's got to be a little grain of truth in there somewhere. What the truth is anyone's guess, but I still think it's possible.
Yeah.
And even in today's world, even if they're in very small numbers, or even, unfortunately, only literally, less than you can count on your hand, spread out, I still think there's a possibility to a lot of the mythology out there, because like any good history of a family even, it's got to start somewhere. Someone's got to tell the tale. Someone's got to tell the story of what they saw. Now, whether it was, they were drunk and on their way home back in the 1300s on that track next to the river, and the horse and cart broke down, or whatever, whatever time period it is, and they were a little imbibed and it was just a fish and a person catching a fish. I don't know. But, to me, I think, considering what we have seen and what we do have as animals, I think anything's possible.
I mean,
look at the platypus. What a weird animal.
Yeah. Well, but you also got to think there's also been jokers. There's also been, what do we call it over here in America? Wives' tales, to get out of that, what man has done to get out of a problem or whatever. They make a long tale about it. And you also have to look at, back in those days and everything, you believed whatever your lord said, or whatever a higher up, because, like in Japan and everything, everybody was owned by a rich individual, and 90% of the time they were getting drunk on sake, and if they were late to somewhere, or they were having a, like a lot of onis and everything are sinful men cheating on their wives. Like, you know, and their cruel punishment is, you know, you are. Thank you. I was giving myself an insulin shot. I didn't want to do that on camera, but you know, and a lot of people at that time, they weren't stupid, but a lot of people didn't know how to read. A lot of people didn't know how to write. A lot of people were drunk and just to escape every day. And, you know, if you mix that and a lot of the older drugs from the beginning of time, like lotus leaves and everything, those are hallucinative drugs. You get a guy in the middle of the woods hunting for his next meal, and he sees a tortoise coming up out of the water, and he's freaking out. You know, he can make a lot of claims. And it's probably worse. It's probably worse. Like, y'all, you know, there's a deep sea diver up here on panel that can tell you that she's probably seen shadows and everything that look like the mythological beast probably she saw in the water, you know. Like,
I haven't seen anything that I don't recognize yet.
yeah,
I'm sure you never know. There's times in the ocean where you feel like you're being watched and you look and there's nothing there. So I don't know.
yeah. And, you know, like, it's just, you're alone, you know, you're alone in places and your mind starts playing tricks on you.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And I'm not saying that this stuff isn't real. I'm just saying that 90% of it is exaggerated imagination. Yeah. Mothman. Just one example of Mothman. They had 10 people go on a psychological trip with a psychiatrist.
You know, taking
read
the
these
soul of me,
people.
Tommy? God.
And every mile they put 4 different cutout, you know, figures of a Mothman. One was 2 foot tall, one was 6 foot tall, one was 8 foot tall, and the other one was 1 foot tall. And they drove these people down a dark road and everything with just with just the lights of the front, you know, the headlights of the car shining on this stuff, and had the individual look out at the side of the road and give their sight on what they saw. The psychiatrist knew what was out there, but he wasn't paying attention. He just let the person see what was out there. After the end of the ride and everything, he asked them, what all did they see? What did they see at, you know, this point? What did they see at all 4 points? And he got absurd things. He got one woman saying that there was a 24-foot tall, you know, winged man in the bushes, you know, going to attack the car. And another person said that there was a 16-foot one. And, you know, all these different things. It's people have very exaggerated imaginations. And it just depends on the person. So maybe what they saw, you know, because even Christopher Columbus, when he came over here and he went to Florida,
What's up, Kyle?
he wrote back and he wrote in his diary and everything. I don't understand how mermaid can attract so many sailors, because they are obesely ugly and they have a mustache like a man. And what he was talking about was the manatees in Florida.
Oh,
And
I think it's the dugongs actually.
yeah,
They're like a smaller version of a manatee.
yeah, and and he thought that was a mermaid.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah, I've heard of that actually.
Yeah, and it was just hilarious how he was like, I wasn't attracted to them at all. But you know,
Yeah, I like mermaids, but when it comes to merfolk and Magic the Gathering, I don't like merfolks because merfolks are almost as bad as goblins in Magic.
hey,
Like
hey,
goblins are the worst. But
my goblins.
no,
About my fucking goblins, man.
do I have your goblins in your will? Like when you die, can I have your
My
magic
goblins
cards?
are going to hell with me.
No, I want all your magic cards when you die.
Okay, you can have them, Debbie.
And all your D&D stuff.
Okay, Nubby. Only if a mermaid drags me to the lowest parts of hell.
I will make a D&D mermaid character if you give me all your D&D stuff. And I know you got 3.5, the best edition, so.
Oh, yes, the best edition, let me tell you.
Sorry,
No.
we got off subject. I got to talk about D&D and Magic, and that's all it is. No, Thomas. I am not playing that video. I will stay. No.
Oh, that was bad.
Was a Greek siren. They're in the mermaid. Mermaid is in the siren category. Yeah. So yes, Shire.
Well, they're not an actual siren. They're a part of the siren family. Like, and there's sirens. Like the siren family is mermaids, harpies, gorgons, any of the creature-like female groups. And if you actually look at, if you look at the true forms of mermaids and everything, they actually,
Hey, Diva.
they're kind of like marked like insects or like fish. The top of their head and everything looks like a beautiful woman's face, but where the lips of the female's face goes to the lips of the mermaid, but underneath is the eyes of the mermaid, just like the harpies and everything. Harpies look like a naked female, with breasts and everything to attract a male to make them stare at, something while they attack. And it's kind of the same way with mermaids. They have female features, but they have a huge, like, reptilian jaw that opens up, and supposedly, like, they can take off an arm with one bite. Like,
sounds intense.
Yeah. I mean, they are creatures, but like I said, it depends on what culture and what mythology that you go through.
Do you think that mermaids live longer than we do?
I think so. So many things in the ocean live for
That's
hundreds
what
of
I
years.
was. Yeah, I was thinking.
Like turtles alone are over 100.
Well, that's because turtles are immortal. Like,
but yeah, I think they live just as long as, because great whites live up to being about 80, 90 years old. Like.
Do you think that they have magical powers?
No.
No?
I think they're more creature and fish-like than anything, so they're just probably adapted to their environment, right?
Yeah.
So kind of like the Harry Potter type when
I kind of picture that actually when I think of mermaids,
Yeah.
more of like a more on the fish side of things and
Yeah.
just creepy.
Goblet of
because-
Fire, that's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that
mean, it depends. I mean, like, supposedly, Homer wrote about, magical fish-like beings around Atlantis. Like, I mean, he said that they could manipulate light. They could, they could sing songs to heal people or entrance people to make them not feel pain if they went under surgery. Or they could be like, their magic could be like a lionfish. They could have, poisons. They could have
That's
something.
true, yeah.
Because they've got to defend themselves somehow against, all the predators of the ocean.
Yeah, I could see them having like quills and stuff like lionfish for sure.
Yeah, I mean, even technically, sonar, if they use some kind of form of sonar like whales do, whales sing underwater.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they could have mistaken their songs as like, sonar.
That actually would make a lot of sense.
Yeah. And that's probably why it threw off, sailors and had them go overboard or whatever, is because they used a different form of sonar and, maybe it made certain sailors sick and they just fell overboard and that was it.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
Well,
That's
especially if
what
they
really
live in the
happened.
depths, because if
Yeah.
they aren't using their eyes the way that we do,
Yeah,
we need some other form of vision.
right.
Communication and protection, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
like
their
how you,
language as well. You think about how dolphins communicate. It's almost like singing. So people could hear their communication and mistake it for a siren song.
and like how you were saying, you believe that they were in the abyss, because even in some, mythology reports and everything, like sailors reporting on, mermaids saying that they had gigantic black eyes, so the whole sonar thing could play a part of it. They can't see. Maybe they see heat vision like.
Mm.
Sorry, but maybe they see heat vision. Maybe they don't see you as a human,
Mhm.
right?
I thought you were about to chase another crackhead or something, Matt. Like,
No, I'm not at work today, brother.
oh, nice.
Yeah, I thought I was going to be. No, I'm getting the wife some tea and a wizard finger. Third shift hot dog.
Oh, I know exactly what they are. I used to cook. Yeah, I know exactly what third shift hot dog or.
Yeah, those wrinkled dogs. But
We had, trust me, I worked the third shift restaurant. I mean, convenience store. I know them third shift hot dogs. Things are nasty. Like,
right, but when you crave one, there isn't anything that tastes better.
no, I'm good. Like, but what was the next question? Their language. Since we was talking about the sonar and all that, do you think that they could speak our language, or do you think that they speak other languages? See, like I said, I don't know much. That's why I like these. I'm not a cryptid expert, and I know Matthew is the Cryptic King, so
I don't think they would speak our language, but definitely some kind of sounds they're making to communicate with each other.
Yeah, I think they probably have a very intricate language.
Yeah.
But it would be more similar to how a dolphin would communicate, I think, with unique sounds. Like dolphins, for example, they're one of the only other species that actually have names, and they use specific sounds to call each other by their name. Whereas it's the same as us. If I'm going to say Paige, you know, that's a sound that I'm making to address her as a person.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm?
I mean,
You're not lying,
anything,
Shire.
I believe anything that's intelligent can learn. You know, like if they've.
How did you get that, Freaky?
Do what?
Freaky's thing about probing. Probing was talking. We was talking about probing the other night, Freaky. Like, you're a day late.
I mean, you know, technically anything that is somewhat based humanoid, like if they have a high enough intelligence, they can communicate with us. I mean, we have gorillas and orangutans learning sign language to talk with us. It's not full on words, but you know,
That's a form of communication.
Yeah.
yeah.
They understand.
I mean, we have accounts of, you know, basic animals learning how to communicate with us through more than one means. Now, speaking just straight up English to us, or learning Chinese or Japanese or any other language, I mean, it could happen. It could be broken. It could be whatever they picked up.
That is not true, GT. Magic the Gathering is real, okay? Magic is real. I don't care what anybody says. Dungeons and Dragons is real. Okay? There's wizards and elves and dragons and goblins out there and trolls.
Oh, Nubby. But I believe the majority of them cannot. Now, you know, if we talk about older, you know, if they are able to live hundreds or maybe thousands of years is pushing it, you know, but hundreds of years. Like, there was one Galapagos turtle that's supposed to live for like almost 400 years. I mean,
yeah, the giant tortoises.
Yeah, well, there's the one that Darwin found on his exploration to the Galapagos Islands that died in like 1970 something, from when, you know, Darwin found him in the 1800s or not, you know. It's if there was a mermaid that was able to live that long, and maybe that mermaid could learn how to communicate with us, but you're talking about, you know, something that's been around for 500 plus years and being around humans every day of its life, you know, or every day of the majority of its life, without being hunted, without, you know, for an everyday, you know, mermaid that was just born in the last 100 years, no, they're not going to learn. They're not going to be able to communicate with us. There's like other cryptids and everything. Other cryptids that have been around for thousands of years still don't know how to communicate with us. But it's those what if, you know, supposedly there's you know, there's a sighting of a mermaid, like I said, in Madrid, you know, every at least twice or three times a month since like 2008, 2009, something like that. It has a bounty on it of $2 million, and they want to capture it.
So crazy.
And we all know why they want to capture it, to throw it on a table, to cut it open. They don't want to put it in a zoo. They don't want to, you know, take care of it.
I'm gonna get that little cat. I'm gonna put that cat in the microwave and I'm gonna cook it. Oh, I said that out loud.
Gonna put a cat in the microwave?
I'm kidding. I'm not cooking no cat. PETA, don't come after me. Oh,
Water, the 2 keys, and I need the select the red 100.
I want a pizza. Large pepperoni pizza too. But
No.
oh, he cut it off finally. Oh no, he
Well,
didn't.
Paige, I have a question for you. Considering you surround yourself with so many different divers, have they ever had any theories about mermaids?
Surprisingly, no. I've never heard anyone really discuss them, but they just mostly joke about people seeing them if they go diving. It's like, oh, you might see a mermaid, go jump in the water. But I've never actually heard them discuss a theory about them.
Yeah.
I find that interesting.
Yeah. Now I'm curious. So
definitely be
next time I
like,
go diving.
Well,
Ask
I'm
the
not
crew.
coming, but you can just let me know.
Well, I
One and
mean,
done for me.
supposedly, you know, where supposedly the Fountain of Youth is in Florida, around the Florida Keys, there's supposed to be mermaids swimming in the waters down there. So,
Really?
yeah,
Looks
they're
like
supposed to be the guardians.
Whoa.
Well,
Tommy, you better not be having sexy time with my turtle.
oh.
God.
Could you imagine Tommy's face on a turtleneck? You see a turtle walking, and the head pops out of the shell, and it looks like Tommy Tombstone.
The mustache and everything.
Yeah, the mustache, and and it pops his head out, and it says, "Hey, guy," and it's like, what the hell is that thing?
I wonder if people that get lost in the Bermuda Triangle ever have encounters with mermaids.
Don't know, but they got lost out there.
Like, I need to find a survivor of the Bermuda Triangle. So, guys, in the chat, find me somebody that survived the triangle thing in Bermuda, and I'm gonna talk to them about mermaids. Yeah.
Hey, Nubby, I love you.
Tara, you should talk about what you were telling me earlier today, that theory.
Oh, about evolution.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Okay, I gotta think for a second. I was not expecting it. Okay.
We were just talking about it earlier. I was like, oh, that could be cool to talk about on here.
So basically, like, when people think of evolution, they think like it's like linear, but it's not. It's a tree, right? So actually, like, chimps over here, humans over here, and then there's like some way back down, there's like a descendant that they both come from. So who's to say that, like, you have characteristics of monkeys here, you have characteristics of humans here, some they share, some they don't. So who's to say that there isn't another branch that has humanoid characteristics, but also has aquatic characteristics as well? And then they share gene pools too, right? So genes can be spread, and it's really strange because we share so much DNA with, like, a chimpanzee, for example, but we look nothing alike, and our brains don't function the same. But then we have so many things that are very similar, like opposable thumbs, the way that we feed our young, things like that. So why wouldn't there potentially be a humanoid species with aquatic features? If you believe in evolution, I do.
Nobby, I love these girls.
Right?
I love you. Why are you a paranormal investigator and why aren't you a cryptid hunter instead? I mean, that is what I've been saying my whole entire life about everyone. That there is multiple different branches of each genus. That's why there's not just the one Sasquatch walking around in, eastern United States. There is over like 200 different species of Sasquatch all over the world. It's all over the world that there's encounters of Sasquatch beings. I mean, even in Australia, Washington, they have the Yowie, which is a Sasquatch.
There's slightly different depending on where you are in Australia.
Yes.
And that comes from the mythological, the indigenous and their stories of bunyips at the waterhole.
Yeah.
So,
and even the Aborigines talk about vampires. I mean, a different kind of vampire than European vampires. I mean, encrypted is just as much of a difference as humans, like the evolutionary chain isn't just a straight linear line. But when you go into cryptids, everybody believes it has to be this way. And if they don't believe in evolution because of quote unquote religious thoughts, they believe it's more interdimensional than it is flesh and blood creatures because they want to avoid the subject of evolution.
I've heard some rather good theories, though, on both sides of the scale for that. So, yeah, it's all very interesting. And I'm one of the ones that I believe in both, even though that's hard to believe and go how. But I do, because I've got a bit more spiritual view than typically religious view, if you like. And I actually think it's naive to be so close-minded. I think the realities that we live make it hard sometimes for people to have a open mind. I believe sometimes the beliefs are why we find it hard to have an open mind. Depends on what you've been taught, but realistically, without an open mind, we would not have discovered so many things, be it scientific, be it whatever, animal species, human species. You know, there are so many things being discovered every day that if you don't keep an open mind, or, you know, I think you're closing yourself off to so many possibilities, basically, that, you know, it's...
I understand what you're saying,
Ryan.
but I'm just saying to straight go to interdimensional beings and is without explaining flesh and blood that's been around for thousands of years before we even thought about aliens. You know, because the idea of aliens and interdimensional beings and everything only came around at the height of the 1950s. No, like
I don't know. There is some, how shall we say, stories, myths from, you know, legends written from Egyptian times and some very old times. So,
but even,
you know,
even the Hindu gods, you know, the Hindu gods are supposed to be aliens from a different world. All the Hindu gods are. They come from outer space. Most religions, their gods come from outer space. But, like Sasquatch and everything, Sasquatch were actually, you know, like Sasquatch were actually creatures of the wilderness. You know, they were men of the wilderness. There's not that many reports or anything until just within the past couple years that come out saying that Sasquatch comes from the stars, you know, like, and, you know, like most of the Aborigine, you know, cryptids and everything, they didn't come from space, they came from the water, you know.
That's right. Mother Earth and the water is, you know,
like
ingrained in all of their life, all of their lore. So, you know, it's from bunyip to the kangaroo to the emu. It's all from the water or the earth.
It's just a lot of people that don't want to accept both sides, you know, that.
Well, that's where I keep an open mind, because I just think it's all so fascinating and interesting.
Yeah.
And yeah, sure, I may veer one way or the other, or a little more on some subjects than others. But that's why I think having an open mind about anything is so important, especially in today's world, you know, where everything's an extreme.
Like, you know, and like at least, you know, 75% of most historical accounts of cryptids and everything, they come from, you know, they come from man creating them. Like a lot of the Japanese lore of cryptids and onis and everything, like Japanese lore, you know, most onis and everything is created in their form of hell from what man is afraid of, and they take shape in their hell to come back and torture these people. And you know, like, but when it comes to gods and stuff, gods are different than cryptids, you know. And when you hear about gods are the ones that come from other planets. But when they talk about, you know, a Yeti, or they talk about a chupacabra, they don't say that they come from, you know.
Well, there are some people that say that chupacabras are aliens. like alien type cryptids, and then there's some say that they're like,
You know, how could an lizard-like being that sucks blood and everything, you know, come from this earth? Even though the Blackfoot, you know, Indians for hundreds of years talk about the earth opening up and a lizard-like being coming crawling out from that crack of the earth, and them sending their best warrior out to track and hunt and kill this creature to protect the world, you know.
Well, but there's carnivores, there's herbivores, there's all sorts.
Yeah.
Why can't there be? You know, like that's yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, and I missed someone earlier. Sorry, GT, mate. I tell you what, there's a lot more things to be scared of over there, mate, than there is in Australia. I'll tell you now.
Where
I have survived for nearly 50 years, mate, and I have seen bugger all of all the things you guys worry about. So I'd be much more. I love y'all, and I have been dying to come there, but man, the US way more dangerous than to Australia. You know, sorry, but
I can't disagree there. See, y'all just got animals that are like dangerous. We got freaking people that like to destroy people, destroy shit.
And wild animals. I'm sorry, but spiders and snakes and sharks are nothing compared to mountain lions, cougars, bears, wolves.
See, we got all of them here.
Yeah, we have
Yeah,
you know,
we've got all that. We've got those.
Yeah,
in
but
our
I'll tell you
backyard.
what.
but the thing about animals is, if you don't give them a reason to attack you, they won't attack you. It's like what is that big huge spider that y'all have over in Australia? Yeah, the huntsman. It is the most peaceful. Yeah, they're harmless little things. They're just gigantic.
They
And
don't have, but there's no reason for a spider to get that gigantic.
The really, really big ones are mainly out in farmland and bushland.
Yeah.
So, you know, I mean, around home, they're more.
Oh, right.
they're about the size of a wolf spider.
Yeah. I mean, they can get dinner plate size, but most of those are out on farms and, you know, like if you go to a city.
I went to sleep. I went to sleep out in Texas and everything one night, and it was a chilly night. And I woke up with a tarantula sleeping on my face because of my warm breath and everything. And it was like a face hugging from Aliens on it. And I just like nudged it, and it just crawled off my face. And I was like, "Go, little buddy," because they're not.
The most I've had to worry about camping, Maddie. The most I've had to worry about camping, and I'm sorry, yes, I camp with a tent and you know, sleeping bag and crap. I'm sorry, I am not an outdoor lady. But it's you just got to check the dunny or make your drop toilet. You just got to check for blue tongue lizards and have a look for a spider, mainly redbacks. You know, because we do provide a few old-fashioned long drop dunnies in some of the beach areas around here and where we can. But it's only the redbacks. Just make sure there's none because they do hurt if you get bitten, but they're not going to kill you. You know, and you might see a blue tongue. You got to get a little stick and go, "Oi, dude, naff off! Go on, get off the dunny, get off." You know, it's not that bad. It's not, and if you stick to the cities, if you can, the worst you're going to get is the terrible customer service in some places because man, they're fed up with being retail.
That's everywhere. Like you gonna get bad customer service everywhere. Some people just shouldn't work in customer service. I see that everywhere.
Come on,
Talking about Hobbs? What you talking about? Who are you talking about? Me?
You're security, Matt.
I do customer service.
Right in your butthole, like
I do.
See, we all just need a pocket Maddie. I told you, we all need a pocket Maddie to keep us safe. And we throw him out like a pokeball, and he can go back to normal size, and he can protect us all.
Yes.
That's it.
I mean, even scorpions, even black king scorpions out here in Texas, they will crawl into your sleeping bag and they want to keep warm by your feet. But
Yeah,
if you feel
they don't
something
need
crawling on you, if you feel
they don't
something
need to
crawling on
cuddle
your
with me.
feet,
Like,
all you do is slowly wiggle out. You don't move your toes. You don't do anything. You just wiggle out, pull yourself out of it. And that scorpion will stay on your foot until you get out. And then you just take a stick and you just hook it by the tail and pull it off of your foot.
no.
See, I don't like them, and I didn't think we had a lot of them, but just up like 50k away on a mate's farm, they get a few now, and I'm like, man, we never used to get that many. Something has changed out here in our ecological system because we never used to have a lot, and now they're
Wow,
regular.
Ryan. That's messed up, Ryan. Like,
And come on, Ryan,
Yeah,
play
Ryan-
side on the farms, mate.
Ryan
Come see
hates spiders. He hates spiders. So I have to protect Ryan from spiders.
can you protect
Well,
me
in
from
my-
clowns?
Nearly 50
If I can
years, I
protect
have
you from a
only
clown,
ever
that's
seen
easier than a spider.
Nobody don't like
3
clowns, so
3.
Oh,
That's all
I
I've
knew
ever
that was
seen
gonna
in
happen.
50 years, Ryan. 3. 3. That's it.
you're back.
It's all good. It's all good.
Okay.
Every
But
time you get in the car, I always lose you for like a couple seconds. Like, I done got used to it. Like,
I'm sorry.
If he pops
But-
out, we know he'll be back.
yeah.
But the thing is the things about cryptids, most of them are flesh and blood creatures. And most of them,
Carol, Solo, they do not have any good qualities.
They
Like,
do.
yes, they
I
do.
love spiders.
They serve a look. I'm not keen on them, right? But they serve a purpose. And here in Oz,
They
one of
do.
the biggest purposes: mosquitoes,
Yep.
flies, blowflies.
Yep.
Exactly.
Telling you now, that will be the thing that will annoy you the most if you come to Australia. I will guarantee you. Mosquitoes, flies, and damn blowflies in summer.
hang on,
And my-
Ryan.
Tara,
And
we-
the occasional locusts,
And the occasional moth and thing.
Yeah.
But their cobwebs catch all them. They help keep the balance. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not keen on them. No, I don't like them.
if the world eliminated mosquitoes, it has no ill effects on nature whatsoever. Like,
I was going to say, now they're the one thing we could get rid of with no real consequence, aren't they?
mhm.
Can we do the ticks too?
Because the rest all do a job. And that's why so many ecosystems are all out of balance.
Yeah.
We've allowed too much deforestation, hunting, whatever, over the years, the decades, whatever it's been.
We don't have the natural predators for all of that. It's just like how America took out all the wolves and everything because, wolves were attacking farmlands and all this. And after we got rid of all the wolves, deer came in and started destroying all farmlands. And then it's like, let's reintroduce the wolves back into, the wilderness.
Sexy boy.
Well, like they did with rabbits
What's up,
and
Ryan?
camels.
What's up, Matt?
Rabbits and camels in Australia. We never had a rabbit or a camel till one was brought here on a ship.
Yep.
Now, unfortunately, go watch. Yeah, there's movies on the rabbit outbreak.
You guys are giving me
And
nightmares with
camels,
spider talk.
unfortunately, they have to be culled. There is so many in the middle of Australia now. They just, got to cull them.
Well,
Unfortunately.
it's the same thing here in Texas. Texas had the exotic game, hunting from like the 60s into the 80s. You can hunt axis deer, black bucks, all this stuff. And after like 5 or 6 floods and 5 or 6 freezing winters and everything that lost power. A lot of these axis and black bucks and bighorn rams and everything got out and started destroying the ecosystem for the regular ecosystem. You know, like they're like black bucks are breeding with white-tailed deers, and those are breeding with axis deers and creating, you know, diseases and everything because they're two species that shouldn't intermingle. And you know, we've had an increase of the wasting deer disease here in Texas in the last 5 years, which is like the zombie deer virus.
Oh,
Oh, it
those
looks terrible, the
deer.
poor things. Looks horrid.
No, that's just deer. That's just deer on bath salt right there. What are you talking about? Like, but hey, how are you doing, Ryan? Ryan.
Doing great. He started talking about spiders and now zombies. Jesus.
Zombie deer, Ryan, not just regular human zombies.
So Ryan, you're
a problem in Australia, mate. We brought in the cane toad to help with a bug that was in the cane fields over east in Queensland. And we've tried very hard to keep them out of WA, but unfortunately with the last load of floods, they have now been found here, and they are a massive problem. They're wiping out ecosystems, let alone anything else.
Yep.
So yeah, we've got a huge problem. And don't let your dogs lick them. I mean, dogs love them, you know, and they had to give warnings for humans. Do not go licking the backs of the toads.
Yeah, don't lick it, Nubs.
I don't know why you have to warn people, but you know. But yeah, they're a problem, and they're wiping out so many. I mean, species. It's caused a big problem here. So
Ryan, since you're my other Cryptic Monday co-host, what are your beliefs in mermaids?
Oh, well, I kind of have a mixed opinion on those. I do think that at one point in time that there were something that we consider mermaids. I think some of them were misidentified, as often happens with cryptids, but I do think that the older sailors did see something. Did they see those hot women that were half naked? No. No, not at all. I think they did see the more evil mermaids. Are they still around today? Probably not. But I do think that manatees and seals were responsible for a lot of the sightings.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I was going to say about the manatees that they were definitely, that's been brought up. And, you know, when you've got, shall we say old school sailors and pirates and rum, darkness, ocean,
rum,
you know, never know what could be misconstrued for a mermaid. I still think they're real or have been if they're not now. But
yeah, I think at one time they definitely were.
Yeah,
because I mean, Ryan is a cryptid himself. He is a half human, half dog man. Like,
Nubs, dude, you're not supposed to tell everybody this. Come on, man.
Giving away secrets. He always does that. He gives away secrets.
That's why I keep getting all these government agents at my door. I'm like, where are you getting this information? Damn it, Nubs.
Well, I'm also a cryptid. I am a human, alien, and hellhound combined. Like, so
you're a
look at you.
Wow.
No, I'm not playing that video. I am not playing that video, Tommy.
Oh, what video? What video? I'm intrigued.
No video. There's no video.
No. Okay, Tommy, you're going to tell me about this video now because Nub's being secretive. What's going on with this video?
My panel's full at the moment, Tommy.
Yeah, but what's up with this video, though? I'm curious.
I will tell you about the video after the stream, Ryan.
I gotta wait. Gotta keep me in suspense all the time.
Yeah. Nubby doesn't need to get canceled. It's 2023, and it's easy to get canceled these days.
Nubs, you could get canceled from this video. Oh, now I'm intrigued, man. Oh.
And I won't gonna be on too much longer anyway. Like I got to get up a little early tomorrow. I know other people got to get up early and hadn't had no
I don't
sleep.
know what you're talking about.
But before I end, does anybody have any premieres or investigations come up? I know Paranormal XP, they got Wildwood coming up tomorrow. Y'all got any more? Y'all are editing at the moment, or is that a surprise
We
for
have
everybody?
1 year
Thinking
special
about what
coming
I
up.
can do.
Ooh, a 1 year special. Y'all been on for
Yeah.
1 year? Nice.
Yeah.
So we've remade our first video. So we went to the same location. So that will be our next one. And then we're going to the Conjuring House as well at the end of the month. So
Ooh.
I
that'll
can't
be
wait for
coming
that
out.
one.
Do y'all have any? I mean, how close are y'all to y'all watch hours? Do you know?
No parasolo, no speedos. That means something different here.
Oh, Tommy has some OnlyFans content coming out tomorrow, guys. So
That's why
I ain't got no.
OnlyFans.
I personally have no investigations coming up at the moment. I have a couple rewatch videos coming up, but I don't have nothing special coming up at the moment. But I am going to another semi NASCAR type thing the 22nd, so I might do a live stream there again. We lost Matthew again. I knew that was going to happen sooner or later. But Ryan,
Yes,
you
sir.
Monster Radio have anything coming up soon?
I do actually. This weekend, I'm going to Flagstaff for a skinwalker investigation. I'm meeting some tribal members out in the desert. So it's actually one of the guys that's going to meet me there. He's an elder from one of the Navajo tribes here. And he's going to take me to a cropping of rocks, a mountain formation that they call the Skinwalker Rocks. Now, allegedly, this is like an opening to a portal where skinwalkers get the magic from. So I'm pretty nervous. I mean, I'm the only white boy going. So I'm kind of going, oh, wow, I'm really out of my element with this. But I'm super excited, too, for them to open up that kind of a big deal.
You are a brother.
So, yeah, pretty hyped up.
You are a brother, Ryan. They ain't going to let anything happen to you.
I appreciate that, Matt. Well, yeah, I was accepted into their tribe, so that's a pretty big deal for a white dude like me to get accepted.
Definitely.
Right. Yeah.
And besides, if anything happens to you, you know I will take my 12-inch buoy and I will go and I will get a skinwalker to bring you back.
He's gonna do it. That's not a knife.
Yeah.
This is a knife.
Yeah. I don't mess around. It's like, you know, I will gut you.
Dude, I'll call Matt with my last breath and be like, avenge me, Matt. Avenge me.
Oh yeah. I get you.
Then I'll realize it's the wrong number, but like, oh crap, I called the wrong Matt. Give me a minute.
Matt, how's your Chronicle or YouTube thing coming along?
I got some hiccups. My drone footage and everything got screwed up, so I gotta go and film some new drone footage to put in. But it should be up at least by maybe the end of this week, next week. I don't know. But I am taking applications for people that is around Texas area that want to be survivors in the Survivor Chronicles.
Well, that's why you need to come to Virginia.
Wait.
I got
what are you doing
perfect place.
I wouldn't survive. There's no way.
Well, I've taken applications for people that want to be marauders. It's kind of like the dollar store version of The Walking Dead. So
what a zombie. Matt. Shut up.
Mama Amy and Cody while they're out on the road and see if they want to do it.
Yeah.
I mean,
do you have anything coming out?
Oh, Well, I've been trying to wrap my head around. I'm a little bit fussy in particular, and I'm getting really paid off with the fact that my phone, I can only make it look like a phone footage. So I do have a couple of ideas. I may throw out maybe another showing you my other couple of tarot card sets while I'm trying to figure something out for getting out to film.
I understand that.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't like it. I don't like how it just looks like it's, you put it on your channel. It's just that little tiny little up on it. And even when I turned it the other way, it still went little up and down and looks like it's filmed on a old terrible phone. So
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out something at the moment.
It's okay, vodka sis. Just look at 99% of cryptid videos. It looks like it was filmed on a potato. I mean,
That's true. That's true. That is true.
Accurate.
But thank you, Second Star, Vodka Vamp,
Wait, we haven't hit that 2-hour mark, Nugs.
Ryan.
You got 3 beautiful women and a guy that never shows up.
I gotta say, I gotta go drop my son back at work. So love you all. I'll leave it on. If it's still on, I'll come back. I'll leave it, but I gotta go for a bit.
Everybody can still talk. Gotta do my little
Thank you for
outro.
having us.
Yes, thank you. It's a very fun
definitely.
topic.
Great having y'all up here. If y'all want to talk more about cryptids, y'all get y'all's little booties back up here.
Oh, we will.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah,
I'll be around next week. Though, so I'll drop by for sure.
Yes, I love you.
I'll be back. I'll be back.
Yay.
But the next one is in 2 weeks, and we will be talking about the Lizard Man.
Oh, the Lizard Man. My boy.
I don't
Talking about
know
my
anything
boy,
about
huh?
the lizard man.
Me neither.
But how many lizard man encounters is there now? Like 7 different kinds now?
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know, right? There's way too many of them.
We have some good
Louisiana
stuff.
lizard man. There's the frog man of Ohio.
I got that on one of my lists too.
No, hold on now, Matt. Hold on. The leveling frog is not the lizard man. The lizard man is a lizard man.
We're going to end it while they're arguing, guys.